So MrBeast just recently announced that he's doing a $100 million deal with Amazon Prime Video to create the biggest game show in television history. That sounds like the most MrBeast thing ever, but that's what's happening. And the most fascinating part about it all, in my opinion, is the fact that he's done like every side quest in the world of media. Like, he's literally transitioning and crossing over into the traditional media industry, and he's just breaking all types of records. But he still views himself as a YouTuber above all else. So it got me thinking, like, this guy's done everything, but his priority is still YouTube. So how big of a deal is YouTube in the grand scheme of things?
I have a question though. It's I guess it's more like after YouTube. Are you going, like, what do you plan to do with all this power? Like, because it's the money, the stuff. I know you do the nonprofit stuff, but like, what happens after YouTube? And I'm also curious, does your content evolve or just become its own network? Like, do you become Jimmy, this guy doing this other sort of content?
Yeah.
And MrBeast is like, becomes a network that continues MrBeast content, like, as you age. Cause like, you're probably not going to want to be like, all right, today I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? Forever, right? The evolution.
I think you obviously YouTube's not going anywhere. It's just going to keep growing. The craziest part is like Google just fucking owns the internet. It's like, and Google, obviously, Alphabet owns YouTube and just funnels motherfuckers in here. We come pre-installed on Android. It's like, there's just no world where YouTube doesn't grow year over year, in my opinion, for the next 10 years. And so I think there's nothing more lucrative possible than to just be the biggest YouTuber for the next decade.
When you think about it, just a couple of years ago, people were utilizing YouTube as a springboard into the world of traditional media. Meaning you had people like Logan Paul who were making vlogs and doing all these things on YouTube just as a means to land a traditional acting role. And now what we're seeing is the opposite, where like people are just making their own networks on YouTube. Like, if it's a comedian, they don't need Comedy Central anymore. They can just drop their own special on their own channel and create their entire own comedy network. Same thing with these actors. Like, instead of trying to land a traditional movie deal, they can just create their own film production company on their YouTube channel and grow it however they want to, play by their own rules, and like just do their own thing. And so I wonder like how this is going to look in 10 to 15 years, because the beauty about YouTube is that, you know, you can grab a Blue Yeti and an iPhone and you can make a YouTube channel, right? So in like 10 to 15 years, is YouTube going to become this like industrialized thing where like only people with big budgets, you know, can break through on the platform? I highly doubt that'll happen, but I don't know. It's just interesting because you're seeing so many more people pay attention to YouTube as like this opportunity to, you know, make a breakthrough in the media industry, because YouTube is too big to fail at this point. Like, they've got their paws in every aspect of media. They got YouTube Premium, they got YouTube TV, YouTube Movies, YouTube Music. Like, it's going to be synonymous with like, oh, I'm going to Google something. It's like, oh, I'm going to YouTube something. Oh, wait, we already do that. Like, YouTube is already the king of video, but it's going to get to a point where it's like anything you hear or watch will probably at some point just be on YouTube 100%. Like, I think Spotify, Instagram, TikTok, all these platforms are going to disappear. Or they're not going to disappear, but at least in comparison to YouTube. Like, YouTube is about to monopolize all of media, and it's just going to be the biggest thing in the world. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like, oh, the Grammys presented by YouTube, the Oscars presented by YouTube, the Super Bowl presented by YouTube, because like they're just the standard for viewing video. I also find it interesting that MrBeast isn't focused on retention style videos anymore, and he's taking a more traditional approach with his YouTube channel in terms of the production quality and the things he's prioritizing in his creative process. MrBeast is taking this new creative approach where he's focused a lot more on the writing, the pacing, the emotion, the feeling of the video, you know, the character development, the plot, pretty much the kind of stuff that wins you an Oscar.
One of his most famous mistakes was on his Squid Game video. The person who won, for most of us, that's the first time we've seen that person throughout the entire video.
It's a random guy. Like,
it's a random guy. It's like, and so, like, cool that you recreated Squid Game, but who's that guy? But now that he's a bit more of a developed filmmaker, I think he's giving these things a bit more of an opportunity. Such as in the Versus video, one of the instances that they did is they also mentioned very early on, I'm doing this for my daughter.
My daughter's turning 3 this Saturday.
There we go. There's a little bit of a setup there. Throughout the entire video, they sprinkle in that person's presence. And so you kind of constantly reminded of him being there.
What is this right here?
That's for my daughter.
Today's her birthday?
Yeah.
Oh, let's see what comes through the curtains.
Oh, this thing.
Oh,
Oh my god.
I'm not gonna let you miss her birthday.
And then at the end, when you've kind of spent that character development, that character time, relationship, I would say, into knowing that person, and suddenly it's like, we've been there the whole journey through him. And even on Jimmy's interview, he then said,
Bro, when I saw that the first time, I literally cried. I was like, oh my gosh. Like in person, I was kind of crying, but when like I saw the first cut of the video, I literally, tears came down my cheeks. I was like, oh, I've never felt this way before watching one of our videos.
He's the GOAT of this YouTube stuff. He's done everything. He's made videos with low budget and, you know, high creativity. He's done videos where he just throws like $1 million at the camera and, you know, high budget, low creativity. And now he's focusing on just being a storyteller. You know, the thing I want to leave with y'all is just to think about, like, what is YouTube for? Like, is it a place for me to build my own media network? Is it a place for me to have my own personal blog? Because the answer, honestly, is all of the above. I feel like you can go any which way you want with a YouTube channel. And that's the beauty about this platform is, again, the barrier to entry is so low that anybody can do it. So take advantage of it while you can. I definitely am going to try my best to build this into a media network, because my goal with YouTube, at least as of right now, is to cover these topics about the creator industry, the creator economy, whatever you want to call it. That's just something I'm genuinely passionate about. Anyway, I will catch y'all in the next one. It's like 5 in the morning. I'm going to get some sleep. I will see y'all later.